The Real Show is brought to you by UCS Facility Management Limited, Omni Basic Bank, and Dewdrop Hand Sanitizer.
Welcome back, and let's have a look at the introductory video of my second guest.
In any human organization with a purpose, there is the need for its target to understand its core mission and vision. The perception formed by the public accounts for the value inferred on an organization. In any organization, there is a need for a public relations department that will be across numerous platforms in order to shape and frame the public perception of an organization. Public relations officers anticipate, analyze, and interpret public opinions, attitudes, and issues that might have an impact, for good or ill, on the reputation and plans of the organization. They advise management and manage crisis communications as some of their core mandates as well. It is intentional, and it works both internally and externally to help shape an organization's brand. Sophia Kudjordji is a senior public relations expert and multi-award-winning communications leader with a strong track record of building the function and teams at some of Ghana's leading organizations. She's currently the Chief Corporate Communications Manager at the Jospon Group of Companies, a double master's degree holder from the University of Cumbria and Ghana Institute of Journalism, and a postgraduate diploma in marketing from CIM UK. Sophia has over 25 years experience in journalism, marketing, media, and public relations. She is also affiliated to the Institute of Public Relations Ghana, Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, International Public Relations Association, Association of Public Relations in Africa, and the Ghana Journalists Association. Welcome, Sophia.
Welcome, ma'am. She says I can call her Sophia,
Yes.
but you know, you have such a great role. I just have to add madam. So
Oh,
I'll say,
dear.
Madam Sophia Kudjordji, welcome.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for gracing us
My
tonight.
pleasure. It's an honor to be here this evening.
Oh, thank you. So about PR,
Yeah.
PR.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of confusions and whole lot, but how did you even get into PR in the first place?
I had to grow to this point to call my job my calling. All right.
Wow.
Growing up, I wanted to be a newscaster,
Oh.
a lawyer, or a bilingual secretary. And at the time, my mom, who has a standard 7 education, but a very brilliant and intelligent woman, police officer, who used to be in the courts, and the lawyers would ask, so where did you do your law? And she would say, who, me? No. And that woman speaks such impeccable English. She decided to send me to one of the teachers from Mali School to advise what I should do. So he gave me the subject, and I went on, and then eventually I landed at Ghana Institute of Journalism. And after journalism, I practiced journalism for about 8 years. And then I had opportunity to go to the British High Commission, where I helped them with the websites, and then media and police relations and all that. And then I got the opportunity to work with UT, and that's where the joy and everything started. And I found myself running around doing, you know, pure PR communications, you know, with UT. It was then Unique Trust Financial Services, then Unique Trust, then UT Bank, UT Holdings, and on and on and on, and now just one. So I'll say that I'm blessed to have worked for 2 of Ghana's most controversial and yet the most awarded companies in this country. And it's such an honor for me to be in the forefront of all the fire and the love. It's fire and love mingled together.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, but 25 years in PR, how do you do it?
There is this statement I often make. I tell people that, you see, you must fall in love with your company to be able to sell it. So the joy, the passion, and everything that comes with it, it's like a woman or a man falling in love. Once you're in love with somebody, you keep talking about the person. When the person is coming, you're like, oh, I still it gives you those kind of things. So because I'm in love with the companies that I work for, I don't even feel it. I mean, so yes, 25 years of journalism transitioning into corporate communications and then PR and all that. It's just been fun because it's the joy that it brings me to see people smile, building relationships, building reputations and all that. And at the end of the day, you find people say, oh, wow, you've done so well. And they award your company. So your company is being awarded, you are being awarded. And that's what keeps us going. And at the bottom of it all, it's God and nothing else. I mean, that is the bottom line.
Great. And now you even say it's a calling.
It's a calling. Trust me,
it's
a calling.
That statement.
But, a calling.
You know, generally in Ghana, sometimes the role of PR is undermined. So how is IPR handling this?
IPR is doing very well in this vein because we're trying to get our people to upgrade themselves more and more. We have, in fact, at the moment, there is a program that is coming off. When is it? This week or next week, thereabouts, about crisis communication. So on a monthly basis, there is a kind of training, a refresher program for people to participate in, and I would wish that everybody would take advantage of that. We are trying to push institutions to ensure that they employ people who are IPR accredited. You know, it's a tall order, but we have started, and people are beginning to appreciate it. So IPR is doing a lot, you know, to ensure that PR practice in Ghana is accorded the recognition and the respect that it deserves.
Yeah, and it is said that a PR shouldn't be practiced without an attached profession.
I wonder who will say that, but if you have a PR background, you are better at what you do because you're able to communicate better. And I think that you might not be a PR person, but if you learn the art, you know, the situation is that it's those who think PR is just an art that are looking at, but PR is an art and a science. There's a whole science to PR today, where you're talking about data mining and making sure that you know your customers and you're dealing with them at that level. So it's a mixture. There's that convergence of professions. So there is the PR in there, there is the communications in there is the marketing in there, there is the advertising in there. Everything coming together into the integrated marketing communication mix. That makes PR exciting and takes it to the next level that it has to go to. But it can be practiced as a profession by itself without necessarily having any attachment. But if you have a PR background, you are loved.
Oh, you are loved. I like that. No, let's look at your journey, okay? In 25 years, would you say you've had a moment or two or even more where you feel like your position as a PR person has actually been tested or has saved a situation? Just to help, I'm asking this so that we can help highlight how important it is.
Oh, it's been several of them. I mean, you find yourself being in an institution, and I'm saying that I am blessed to have worked in two of Ghana's most controversial and yet the most awarded companies, because people have all sort of negativities about the companies that you're working with. And then you, the PR person, you are able, and the funny thing is that what you do is so intangible sometimes. It's difficult for people to appreciate how much you have brought on board, you know. So you find yourself using all sort of channels, all sort of tools, you know, to build the reputation of that company, and you find yourself changing the narrative. You know, from that negative, people don't want to see you and all kind of things, to a point where people are like, oh, I really want to work with this company. I mean, we sit in Ghana and people are like, oh, Just One Group has done this, they have done that. And I have somebody who is dying, he's in Canada, he's dying to work with Just One. Why? Because he sees what you're doing. And it's our responsibility. That's why I said that you have to fall in love. You know, it doesn't mean that we don't make mistakes, no. So you are careful not to spin or do propaganda. But, I mean, let the truth come out. The truth is, you are doing so well. I mean, in this country, who employs more than the Just One Group, apart from the government? You know? And if you see what we're doing, that other European countries and others are hailing us, Anybody who comes here and sees some of the facilities that we have done, they're like, what? In fact, people are saying that we don't tell our stories well enough. Yes, it's because the story is long and it's huge. It's massive.
And I was trying to poke it.
I know, right? So you just see a tip of it and these people have done this. No, you don't know the truth, the entire story. So take your time. Allow us to tell you the story. Then you begin to appreciate. So I've had opportunity of helping gradually, subtly, you know, change the narratives of the companies I've worked with. And I've seen it, you know, happen all the time. And I'm like, wow, we thank God. And there's been times that we've been bashed. But hey, it's part of it. You have to have a thick skin.
Job, yes.
Of course, I mean,
it's like being in the limelight and not expecting people to have a comment or two about anything you post. I mean, that's funny.
Truth of the matter is, not everybody will love you.
Yes.
You can be the most beautiful. Somebody will look at you and say, look at her head. What kind of hairstyle is that? You know, you're sitting here so pretty. And yet somebody is sitting there, why is he pulling the hair to the front? Couldn't she have pulled it back? Which one is that? Can we just learn to love one another, you know? So you're not saying that people should hail you all the time, but the occasions where we've been recognized, recommended, you know, both internally in Ghana and outside Ghana. I mean, the highest point for me was when Harvard University made my boss, Dr. Joseph Siawe Japan, a member of the advisory board of the Harvard, of the Center for African Studies in Harvard. And as I speak to you, there is a lecture, the Joseph Siawe Japan lecture on public health in Harvard University. Wow. I mean, where else can it go?
Ghana stand up.
I know, right?
Why is this not news being celebrated?
I know, right? We've talked about it. You celebrate it, and then somebody will say, "I've seen this." Then we, you know, and people. I don't know. It's just that Ghanaians, we don't know how to love ourselves. Charlie, let's learn how to love ourselves, because think about it. How many Ghanaian companies have gone beyond 50 years? We're talking about Nestle's and others doing 170 years and above. Can we allow ourselves to grow, to have such transgenerational companies? You know, can we celebrate our people a bit? Can we celebrate ourselves a bit? And stop, you know, eating at each other, pulling at each other every now and then. I mean, that's what I'm here to do, to ensure that I tell you the beautiful story about my company. But it's not to say that if there's something wrong, you don't talk about it. But let's be some way. I don't know how to put it, but I mean,
let's give an example. Yeah. Looking at the music industry, which I'm using because that's something we all hear of at least, so everybody can sort of relate. Ghanaians don't usually back our artists as much as the Nigerians do. Nigerians will hail a song that's somewhat average if you're a music person and you listen, but then they would blow it out of proportion. Let's say Nigerian hear that one artist has been mentioned on an international platform. It's going to be all over the place. So I think generally we have to, as Ghanaians, we need to work on our PR.
We need
That's it. We should just work on our PR. Maybe you should help us.
One of the key things to me, one of the things on my heart right now is to look at Brand Ghana. Changing Ghana's narrative, changing Africa's narrative, because we have to tell our story to the world. How are we telling it? There is so much beauty, quality stuff, you know, resources in this country. How are we selling ourselves? Are we making people know that, hey, Ghana is not just about begging for stuff. Ghana is about beautiful people who want to do something. And those who are doing it, how can we support them? I mean, Hajia is talking about financial literacy. And there are so many people out there who would they just need that advice. 20 cities, 100 cities, and they will turn their lives around. But somehow, we are allowing things to go as if, I have this thing I said, there is this Ghana word, no more bobi, you know, like more browa people. So, then
we just accepted that image.
I can't stand it. No, that is not Ghana. Ghana is a proud nation with people with great intelligence who are making serious things happen in Ghana and outside. Let's heal that. Let's heal that. Let's change our narrative. Let people know that, hey, Ghana, we are proud people. We are a nation that believes in what we have, and we know that we can look, if we allow ourselves and build Brand Ghana, the whole world will be trooping here.
Even with a little, we had, there was a year we had a lot of
the year of the return.
The year of return.
Yes.
Just because people were positive.
Exactly.
We sent positive vibes. Look at the amount of investments that came to Ghana. I'm telling you. Look at the international attention we had.
You know, a lady came to Ghana and she was part of the year of return, and her favorite thing was shito.
Oh, look at that.
Now look at shito. It's a national asset too. But we joke with it. I'm asking myself, if our airport, I love our airport today. Is it the old one? You know, we have these Adikra designs all over the place. Why can't we ride on Adikra designs and just sell it out to the whole of Africa and to the world? That this is the symbol of Ghana. How many of us know that the Adikra designs apart from Dinyame?
It's true.
That's the only one that we know.
So even amongst ourselves, something unique. Not selling ourselves enough. How do we sell it out?
We don't do a lot of domestic tourism, and we don't know how to appreciate ourselves. We beat ourselves too hard. But you see, life is serious by itself. Can we relax a bit and enjoy what God has given to us?
Great.
You know.
Yeah. Now, on that note, it looks like everybody is looking at advertising. Now, every young lady or man is doing some sort of influencing because they want to advertise products, basically sell. Now, we are highlighting the importance of PR, having a great personality like yourself in the field, very well versed to teach us.
I feel honored.
Can you bring our minds to the difference or just relate to vis-a-vis like each other, the PR and marketing for us to understand both?
Okay, so like I said, there is what we call integrated marketing communication mix.
Yeah.
That is the convergence of marketing and communication or public relations. Now, public relations and advertising are just tools within this marketing communication mix that we use. Advertising has to do more with paid adverts. Okay, and that's more expensive. PR is more cost effective because PR, you're looking at building relationships, engaging your stakeholders in a manner in which, so you want to talk more about how you deal with your customers, both internal and external. And you're looking at building the reputation and image of your organization. I mean, in IPR, we say image is everything. Image is everything. And so as a PR person, you're looking at that bit. Now, PR does not require so much. Yes, in today's world, you need money to do everything, to push everything. So if you want to go far, you need to push in a lot of money. But PR is the one that is able to work with emotions, building relationships, and giving you, giving human interest or human feeling to that relationship. Adverts is just out there.
That has a more lasting effect than PR.
PR has a deeper and a lasting effect than adverts. Yeah, some of the adverts we see it, we enjoy it, we get excited about it. With time, it passes away. When they bring it back, we say, oh, that advert, But with PR, you are able to build that relationship in such a way that at the end of the day, the person should leave thinking about you. That is what it is about. So PR is more like giving the customers an experience. You're giving your people, your stakeholders, an experience that they go and they want to come back to you. But it's basically about reputation building, stakeholder engagement, projecting the image of your company, and so on and so forth.
Great. No, that is very clear. So now let's look at the fact that you moved from journalism to do PR. Why the transition?
That's why I'm saying that I think it's a calling. So in journalism, I practiced my journalism in the Volta region, worked with some great guys. And then I had the opportunity to go and work with the British High Commission. At the time, they were looking for somebody to help with their websites. Of course, websites at that time was not very pronounced. It was not that much, so I had to go and learn something small and come and add to it. But whilst there, I was also supporting my colleague Alice with media relations and police relations. And it was while I was there that UT called me and said, oh, they've heard I can help. And so I went for an interview, and then I did practice actual PR communication
Okay.
at UT. That's when I started it.
Okay, so that's the point of...
Yes, that is where I actually had the opportunity to really build that. But the building of the relationships started from the British High Commission. That's when I moved from journalism after 8 years into that area.
Now, how would you say PR has affected your life personally?
Oh, it's made me a very happy person. It's made me a very happy person because I love to see people happy all the time. I love to build people. I love to look at the brighter side, the better side of people. Yeah. I like to ensure that wherever I am, there is some kind of harmony, some kind of unity. And I like to see that there is fun wherever I am. So that humor and everything, you want to see people laugh. As for that, I picked it from my dad.
I can tell you have an aura of happiness, and that's very great.
Yes.
Thank you for investing us with it on a Friday night. But you know, sometimes, for instance, if you're a fashion designer, you have the pressure of always thinking, oh, people are expecting you to wear something when there's an event and you're probably an invited guest. Everybody's waiting to see what you're wearing because that's what you do. So now looking at the fact that you do PR, do you feel like sometimes you watch your reputation too much, or you watch your actions and how it affects people? It makes you more conscious about things like that.
I think so. So I like to tell people, be yourself, okay? Be yourself means that there are pressures around you that is trying to force you to keep up appearance. But you need to be yourself. Yes, in PR circles, one thing that I've used and I am happy about is the use of words. I know the power of words because that is what we use to build a relationship. So when I'm talking to you, I need to watch how I'm talking. So it makes me very careful about my words. But that does not mean that if you misbehave,
you can be stupid, right? My mom always says you can be firm and friendly.
Oh yes, that's it. Great. But then being cautious with your words means that you are careful that my words should build you up,
not break you.
Not break you. My words, when you have an encounter with me, by the time you are leaving, you should feel loved. You should feel beautiful. You should feel cherished. You should feel that, oh, wow. Oh, feel good about yourself.
And that also builds you as a person.
Exactly.
If you're emitting positivity, you get so used to it, it's hard to even accept negativity.
Exactly. So I tell people that people ask me, so what has been some of the challenges that you faced in the course of work? I say, challenges. I don't know which one we will call challenge. Yes, things do happen, but I take it as a learning curve. Everything that happens to you, there's something you can learn from it. Maybe I was too harsh here, or I was, so you learn from things. And we live in a world which is not perfect. Yes. So why should you expect to have a perfect journey? Why? Why? I'm sure.
Too much pressure for yourself.
It's too much. So sometimes things do happen we do not understand. We thank God for everything. He's not called us this far to disgrace us. No, he's not called us this far to put us down. No.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, we've had such a great episode tonight. It's teaching us about PR and putting it into life as a whole for us to actually experience and understand from our point of view. I mean, it's been a great evening. Thank you so much, Madam Sophia.
Pleasure.
I'm so blessed to have my two guests tonight.
Thank you.
And I know you are blessed as well. This is The Real Show.